Some are calling it the battle of the bathrooms. Transgender people are demanding the right to use the facility they identify with in schools, the workplace, and all other public facilities. But North Carolina Governor Pat McCrory is defending his state's new law, HB 2. It requires transgender people to use the public bathroom that corresponds to the sex on their birth certificate. That runs against the U.S. Department of Justice, which says HB 2 is illegal and is suing the state. It's a face-off of historic magnitude. That's because it involves traditional norms coming into conflict with an expanding federal definition of what counts as discrimination.
Because I do not agree with their interpretation of federal law.
He's referring to DOJ's interpretation of
the Civil Rights Act of 1964 is signed at the White House by President Johnson. What he calls a turning point in history.
That turning point concerned race relations in America. The bill ended racial segregation in schools and in public facilities, including bathrooms. It also prohibited discrimination on the basis of religion, sex, or national origin.
Its purpose is not to divide, but to end divisions.
The division President Johnson likely never contemplated was whether transgender discrimination equaled sexual discrimination. 2 years ago, the Department of Justice, then under Eric Holder, said it did, issuing an internal memo that clarified the 1964 Civil Rights Act.
And this is why none of us can stand by when a state enters the business of legislating identity and insists that a person pretend to be something or someone that they are not.
But North Carolina's governor isn't buying that, and the state has leveled its own lawsuit against the DOJ.
We believe a court, rather than a federal agency, should tell our state, our nation, and employers across the country what the law requires.
So now both sides in this fight are asking the federal court system to interpret the Civil Rights Act of 1964 regarding an issue that's very 2016. That's the short answer.